Alright, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's David Van Voorst. So today I want to do a video on what I think is the best riding lift kit for a Jeep Wrangler. I've had this lift kit for over 15,000 miles. I've driven it from Colorado to Texas, back to Colorado. I've driven it to Moab, I've driven it to the Grand Canyon, I've driven it to Antelope Canyon, Horseshoe Bend, all that good stuff. I've driven the Jeep everywhere. It's got a ton of highway miles, city miles. I've got everything on it, and I honestly can say that it is the best riding lift kit. I've ridden in every other manufacturer's lift kits, and the Evo Springs is really what makes the lift kit ride that good. So let's take a look at it here. So with the Evo kit, the biggest thing is these Evo Springs. This is what really makes your Jeep ride as well as it does, and they're super soft. Okay, so before we get into that, let's just go what comes with their lift kit. So when I got this lift kit, this was before they offered the upper control arm option and the rear control arm. So this one just came with front springs. This is the 4-inch Evo lift kit, by the way, Evo manufacturing. This came with front springs, rear springs, front lower control arms. It came with a track bar relocation for the front and the rear. Actually, sorry, just the rear, and then you have to buy the drag link flip kit for the front because we're going so tall. We need to correct the geometry up front. Comes with extended stainless steel brake lines. It comes with bump stops for the front and the rear. What am I missing? That's pretty much it, plus all the hardware. The shocks are purchased separately because they want you to pair the shocks with, you know, whatever shocks are in your budget, so they don't include shocks. They can, however. I went with the Bilsteins, which is, I think, a really good choice. They ride really good. But the biggest thing you want to look out for when you're looking for a quality ride is to look for the actual springs. So I'm sure I missed something that comes with the kit, but it's been so long since I've done it. But it's a basic lift kit. There's nothing crazy or special about it, but what makes it ride so good is the actual Evo Springs. So let's take a look at them again. So these are the Evo Springs. These are the 4-inch. They offer the lift kit in a 3-inch also. So they are softer. So if you plan on running a lot of weight up front or in the rear, I've talked to a bunch of people, always recommend adding spacers because it will sag over time. Now I have the Evo 1/4 pound bumper with the Stinger, and it's actually not enough weight to make the front sag yet. And then in the rear, I've got 37-inch spare with Evo's body mounted tire carrier. I don't run a rear bumper, I just have the Evo cap on the back. So I don't run a ton of weight, which is why mine hasn't sagged yet, and I've had it for 15,000 miles, and it's been, actually, it'll be a year next month, I think, that I've had everything on, so, or close to a year, and nothing has sagged yet, whereas people had witnessed sagging in like the first 6 to 8 months, but they also run a lot of gear on there. So they got a winch, they've got tons of tools and stuff in the back. I mean, I have tools in the back, but very minimal. It's just a Home Depot like tote box full of tools, recovery straps, things like that. So I don't run it really heavy. Like I said, I just got the spare tire on there and the tire carrier. And then on the front, I don't have a winch. So if I added a winch, I would definitely add a 1/2 inch, maybe even a 3/4 inch spacer, because these springs will sag. Now my brother's Jeep, if you don't know, has the Aev Lift Kit, which I'm gonna do a review on, but Aev is supposed to be one of the better riding lift kits, according to everyone out there. And I will say this before I do the Aev review, that the Evo rides way better than the Aev. The Evo Springs are a lot softer. Like I said, they'll sag over time with a bunch of weight on them, but you're getting a way better ride. I mean, if you ride in my Jeep and his, they are two totally different Jeeps. Mine really soaks up the bumps, whereas his hit them really hard and then kind of get a little bit of bump steer. The Evo Springs really soak up all the bumps, and then the rebound is really good with the combination with the shocks. So a lot of people ask me what shocks I run, and I always tell them, like, I just run cheap Bilsteins. I mean, they were only $60 a shock. It's not a fancy shock, it's not a King, it's not a Fox with a reservoir, it's just a Bilstein shock, and my Jeep still rides that nice because what it really comes down to is the springs that are in your Jeep. So highly recommend, if you're looking for a really good riding lift kit, that you look into the Evo. Mine's sometimes my daily driver, but not really. But it is a very good, it was actually, before I moved to Texas, it was my daily driver, and it did awesome as a daily. I was driving 30 miles one way to work and then 30 miles home, and it was an awesome daily driver. I never got annoyed of it riding or the way it rode, whereas previous Jeeps I've owned, they always ride harsh and they're stiff. And I know why people do that is because they know that Jeep people are going to add a bunch of weight to them, so they want to make the springs a little bit stiffer. But Evo has found out how to make the springs soft without compromising quality. Like I said, everyone knows that they sag a little bit. Even Evo knows that they sag a little bit, and they'll tell you to get a small spacer just to make up for that. But for the ride quality and for the flex availability, like, cause my Jeep, if you check out my Instagram, if you check out some of my older YouTube videos, you'll see that this Jeep really flexes really well. So the only other thing I think I missed was that it comes with rear sway bar end links for the back. And then what you do is use the stock rear sway bar end links, use those up front, because you actually don't need, because the ones in the back are long enough for the front, and they just give you new rear ones. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. So like I say, we got the brake lines, which I ended up running through, they go through the frame, and then they come out up top here, because if you ride them on the side and your tire starts rubbing, you could pinch that brake line. Got the bump stops back there, got the springs, got the track bar relocation kit right there. It does, so the track bar relocation kit does come with a U-bolt, which is okay. It's a good temporary thing, but you can literally go to any place. I had a buddy of mine that worked at Midas next door to where I worked in Colorado, and he just threw a quick bead on the inside and the outside and haven't had any problems. I did run it with just the U-bolt and no welds for, gosh, I want to say for 4 to 5 months, and I wheeled it, nothing happened. But for the extra insurance, have someone throw a quick weld on there, it'll make a huge difference. But yeah, Evo makes this kit, it's bolt-on. I did it myself, not even the help of my friends. I did it myself in 2.5 nights. I'll link my build thread below. That's on Way of Life. You can see pictures of me doing it. It was a long time ago. It was almost a year ago. But I did it by myself in my garage. It took 3 days. If I had, it took 3 nights. I did it after work 3 nights in a row. But if I had someone helping me, because we did Colin's lift, as you've seen in a previous video, he has the same lift, just the 3-inch version, and we were able to knock it out in a day and a half. So, because we had 2 to 3 people helping at all times, that one went by really fast. So it's really easy to install. It rides great. Colin still loves his. We're gonna see Colin in Moab, so we'll have to do a review on his, because he will have a bunch of miles on his, because it's his daily driver, and he actually uses it for Uber, which is really cool. I think it's Uber, not Lyft. He doesn't do Lyft. I think he does Uber. Either way, so he puts a ton of miles on it, and he's got the 3-inch Evo lift, same as mine, just a 3-inch version. I have the 4-inch, and he's got 35s. I have 37s, obviously. But he loves it. Colin was really picky about what lift to go with. He rode in everyone's. He went Metal Cloak, Terraflex, BDS, AEV. Gosh, who else did he ride in? I don't know, he rode in a bunch of lift kits, and I was like, dude, trust me, like, you've ridden in my Jeep, you've drove my Jeep, you know it rides the best. But he was still like, I don't know, man, I don't know. And he finally just made a split decision, bought the Evo kit, and he loves it. He ended up going with the same shocks, actually. He was going to go with Fox shocks, which were like, I don't know, $10 or $15 more per shock, not a huge difference. I don't think Fox is that much better unless you get into like the Reservoir, like the 2.0. But either way, he went with the Fox shocks. He loves the way his Jeep rides. So we'll have to do a review on his Jeep in Moab, because he's got a bunch of miles on it now. It's all broken in, it's settled in. His hasn't sagged either, because he doesn't run a ton of weight on his Jeep either. So like I said, if you're gonna run this and you run a ton of gear, a ton of recovery gear, a bunch of tools, you've got spare shit, you know, spare parts in the back, like you probably should, I probably should, you know, you definitely want to look into getting a spacer for the front and for the rear. So like I said, once I put a winch up front, I'll definitely want to put a spacer on there. So I just want to do a quick review for you guys on this lift kit because I think it's amazing. It's like, I want to say, it's like $1,200 to $1,300 depending where you get it from, but I got mine from Trail Jeeps in Golden, Colorado on Black Friday and ended up paying less. I think I paid like $1,050. Wes over there really hooked me up. I think it was $1,050 or $1,100. Don't quote me on that, but wait till Black Friday. If that's when you're looking to get a lift kit around that time frame, that's when you'll get a really good deal. And like I said, you do have to purchase shocks separately, but you don't need to go crazy on the shocks because the Evo Springs are what really separates this lift kit apart from others. I'll show you the control arms. The control arms are really beefy. So these are the control arms here. You can see my tires are rubbing just a little bit because I run the 13.5. See if it'll focus there. So you can see they're rubbing just a little bit. But yeah, those control arms are really beefy. So haven't had any problems with them. They're greasable. They are adjustable lower control arms. So if you want to go taller, shorter, you can use the control arms instead of having to swap them out where people don't use adjustable ones. So that's it for the video. I do want to update you guys on the Moab trip. So we have about 15 Jeeps signed up already. We can add about 15 more. Now, I'm fine with just doing 15 Jeeps because it'll be easier to spot everyone. The trails will go a little bit faster. We won't be waiting on a bunch of people, but there is still 15 spots open. If you guys want to join, feel free. It's going to be an awesome time. It's free, there's no cost. You just have to take care of getting out there, take care of your own food, take care of your own lodging, like we all are. We're all spending our own money to get out there, but I do have a few free things for you guys. So the link is below if you want to sign up for the Moab trip. We'll send you a confirmation email once we get all your stuff in there. We're getting really close. It's October 21st and 22nd in Moab, Utah. It's called the Influencer Run. Let me show you guys the sticker, actually. I've got it on my Jeep. Everyone's going to get one of these stickers. Show ya. So there's the Influencer Run. Colin came up with the logo. I think it's really freaking cool. Colin did an awesome job with it. There's my Instagram and Snapchat, actually. Make sure you guys add me there. Everything I do is update on Instagram and Snapchat first. But make sure you sign up for the Moab Run if you want to go. It's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be fun to run all the trails. If you don't have a Jeep or you don't think your Jeep's capable enough, some of us, I think everyone that's signed up besides maybe one person, but I think it's all 15 Jeeps actually, are JKUs. They're unlimited, so they're 4 doors. So there's plenty of spots for people to ride in if you want to come. And if you don't want to come on the trail, there is a meet and greet Saturday night at the City Market in Moab. It's from 7 to 9 o'clock. It's the big city market. It's right in downtown Moab. Make sure you guys show up. I'm going to have a couple extra stickers to give away, probably a couple extra t-shirts, maybe a few extra goodies we can give away. Plus you get to meet me, my brother, Colin, and all the guys on Instagram. There's some pretty cool Jeeps that'll be out there, so make sure you guys sign up for that if you want to go. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions on the lift kit, please feel free to comment, email me, DM me on Instagram. I will answer any questions. Ask anyone that's asked me a question. I always answer for you guys as best as I can, give you my best opinion, because I have done a lot of stuff on my Jeep, and I've done it all myself too. So alright, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at VanV39. We'll see you guys on the next one.